Hey, what's up everyone? Today we will be talking about the Acls made easy. So there, Acls, the first thing you want to check if there is any pulse or there is no pulse. Okay, so let's talk about if there's no pulse is going to be easy. So let's talk about if there is a pulse. If there is a pulse, it's going to be based on the arrhythmia. What is it, the arrhythmia? Is it sinus tachycardia? Is it normal sinus rhythm? Is it bradycardia? Usually tachycardia, that's what it is. And then if there's an arrhythmia, the next thing you want to look at the symptoms. Okay? Is there any symptoms? If there are symptoms, then you start immediately, you start IV fluid, oxygen, and monitor. Okay, and then you want to check, after you start them on that, you want to check the stability. Are they stable? Okay, so if they are stable, if yes, then what do you want to do? You want to do drugs. Okay, the drugs will be different. If it is fast plus wide QRS, what do we give? We give amiodarone. But if it is fast, narrow, what do we give? We give adenosine. If it is slow, then we give atropine. Okay, so this is the stables. Okay, stable and symptoms without question mark. What if it is not stable? Okay, if it's unstable, if it's no, what does that mean? Not stable, which means the blood pressure less than 90, and there is shortness of breath, there is altered mental status, and there's chest pain. Okay, if there are any of these, then we do electricity. Electricity instead of drugs. So how do we determine what electricity do we use? If it is fast, we shock. If it is slow, we pace. Okay, so that's basically what arrhythmia about. How about, like, let's summarize atrial fibrillation, just like, because sometimes it's one of the types of arrhythmia. How is that going to be different? Atrial fibrillation is going to be easy based on the CHF. If yes, CHF, then what do? We do digoxin / amiodarone. But if it's no, there's no CHF, then we do beta blocker, okay, or calcium channel blockers. So this is for atrial fibrillation. So this is if there is a pulse. What if there is no pulse? It's simple. It's gonna be simple. There are two types that doesn't have any pulse. It could be ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation, or it could be pulseless electrical activity, or asystole. Okay, so this is gonna be simple. VTAC, you start with epi, okay, and then shock, and then amiodarone, shock and CPR, obviously. So this is the general theme for these. So the general theme for there is no pulse. Let me put the general theme. What happened? Oh, where did that disappear? So the general theme for there is no pulse, it's gonna be CPR for 2 minutes. 2 minutes CPR plus shock or something, assess evaluate the rhythm, and then 2 minutes CPR, shock, 2 minutes CPR, and then shock, and so on, you know. Let's add 2 minutes here. Okay, so this is the general theme. Okay, for VTAC and VFib, when in that time you can give initially give amiodarone and then shock, and then epinephrine and then shock, and then amiodarone and then shock, and then epi and then shock, and then amiodarone, and so on, you know, alternate. The difference with PEA and asystole, you start with epinephrine and then you no shock. Okay, nothing, you don't give anything initially, nothing. And then no shock. You just assess the rhythm, and then you give epi, and then you assess the rhythm, no shock, and then you give nothing, and then you continue CPR in the beginning, like in all these moments. Then you evaluate. Once it's converted to VTAC, VFib, then you will give shock, epinephrine, all these things. So in a summary, PEA, you give epinephrine until you see a rhythm, and then you shock. VTAC, you give epi, shock, amio, shock, and so on. Epi, not epic. AFib, you could like CHF, deoxyniramidine, no CHF, beta blocker, calcium channel blocker. So the arrhythmia, the first thing you look at the pulse. If there is a pulse, then you look at their symptoms. You give IV fluid or to oxygen monitor. Look at stability. If they are unstable, if it's a fast rhythm, you shock them. If it's slow, you pace them. If they are stable, then you just do a drug. If it's fast wide, amiodarone. Fast narrow, adenosine. Slow, atropine. And that's basically the summary of ACLS. Thank you so much for listening.